Those short-term underlying emotions in the stock market could be nearing a point of maximum fear, could result in higher stock prices in the coming days. More on that in a second. I do all my own research. It's one of the many reasons why people like to do business with me. When I do see other good research, though, I will bring it to you. CFRA, thank you for this research. And they have found out, after compiling data between 1944 and 2023, that when the S&P 500 is simply up on the year, so it was up last year, that the following year, this year, on average, the stock market is up again, 6.9%. That's really nice. And on average, it is simply finishing the year higher 69% of the time. But when the S&P 500 finishes the prior year 20% or higher, which we had in 2024, the average following year returns are 10%. That would be really nice. And on average, the S&P 500 is simply higher on the year 80% of the time. Now, a bear market can happen within this time. I'm just giving you year-end figures, and I get it. The past does not dictate the future. Anything can happen. That's why I do all my own research in real time. But simply looking at history says this could be a decent year. This is not investment advice, and if you don't know me, I'm John Crocker, professional investor, proud American, cigar lover, and owner of Crocker Capital, LLC. My research says that the underlying stock market emotions could be quickly approaching a point of maximum short-term fear. I can be wrong, nothing has to happen. The CNN Fear Greed Index is just one of many, many things that I look at here. It's an interesting graphic. Specifically looking at the NASDAQ 100, QQQ. I'm sorry I didn't label it, but today, so far as the middle of the afternoon, we have made a confirmed breakdown below that about $513 a share level. We have not made a unconfirmed breakdown below about $503 a share. We would have to close once below 503 to have an unconfirmed breakdown. So continue to watch these levels. One of the things that I'm looking for is that we get either one cathartic selling day or two pretty bad selling days, meaning on the New York Stock Exchange, at least 80% or more of the companies and volume finish lower on the day. If we can get two of those days, that is often a signal that the fear could be over. Or if we just get one cathartic day where 90% of the companies and volume finish lower on the day, that can be an interesting point too. But I also, now we don't have to get that, but if we can start coming up here and getting higher prices, what I would also like to see, but we may not get because the small caps are lagging behind so badly. And I told you that 3 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 2 years ago, that I was staying away from the small cap companies, and I was right. I'm looking for just the opposite. Either one amazing up day or two pretty darn good up days where at least 80% of the volume and companies finish higher on the day on the New York Stock Exchange, or one amazing day where it's 90%. So we shall see. It's not that stocks can't still come down. They can come down a little bit. I just don't think they come down a lot from here. In this entire sideways stock market over the last 2 months, if you follow me, you know I have not been a seller. I've sat on my hands and been very patient. If anything at this point, somebody with a bit of cash could be nibbling on their favorite stocks. The 10-year yield is higher again as of the middle of this afternoon. I really do not want to see it go above 4.81%. I think we need the 10-year yield to go lower. I also think we need to see the dollar weekend. My fault, this is labeled as an unconfirmed breakdown. It's actually an unconfirmed breakout above that 109.66 level. If it confirms even higher tomorrow or the next day, it could go even higher from here. We haven't had this strong of a dollar in quite a while. I think this is bad for the market. We need a weaker dollar. West Texas Intermediate crude oil higher on the day here. You know, I'm looking for a possible shorting opportunity in liquid gold here. We made a confirmed breakout above $76.07 a barrel. I was looking for it to possibly stall there. And as of the middle of the afternoon, making another unconfirmed breakout above $78.60 a barrel. Let's see what happens here. If it confirms higher tomorrow Oil could go to about $81 a barrel, so I'm still watching these levels for a possible shorting opportunity. With gold, I arguably missed the opportunity to go short, and I have been mentioning it for a couple days now. It didn't quite get to that price action at $2,742.72 an ounce that ideally I was looking for. It did get really close and then broke down from there. So I was pretty much right in my level. It just didn't get quite there, and I probably wasn't looking at it at that exact second. So at this point, I will not touch gold. Producer Price Index wholesale level inflation data out tomorrow morning, 0830 Eastern Time. Could be a market mover. Pay attention.